All right, guys, week 6. Back out here in this cornfield. I think we took you out in this one a few weeks ago, but it's put on some serious growth. We're over my head now, and I just want to talk about a couple things in here. And let's see, pushing 95 to 105 degree weather. We're getting real hot. Corn likes warm weather, but we need to make sure and keep it wet. So first thing I'm going to talk about in all of these scouting videos, keep your moisture in the soil and keep those plants watered up. You don't want them stressed, especially when they go reproductive and they're working to fill that ear of corn. You're just going to cause yourself so many issues. In this cornfield, I've looked around and come check down here. It's going to be hard to see, but I found mites, just a few on the undersides of the leaves. They kind of start creating a little webbing right in that kind of groove there. This is another one of those crops where you got to be proactive. You got to have a healthy plant in order to mitigate some of these issues. Like I said, you try to go out and spray mites in a cornfield that's 7-8 feet tall with an airplane or whatever you have. You put something through the pivot, you might get a little bit of control, but not too much. So what we need low nitrates, low ammonium in the plant. We need plants that have plenty of water so that the leaf material isn't stressed. These ones, these particular plants are just moving into the tasseling stage. It's just barely peeking through on some of those plants. The edge ones aren't quite as far along, but we're going to start seeing the ears popping out. And so this is a really critical stage. At this point, we're pretty much near finished with putting any of our nutrients down, our nitrogen, stuff like that. This is going to be moving reproductive. It's going to be moving into a pollination stage, and these are very critical times. Your pollination stage, which is here, I would say about a week away in this field, what you have while that ear is developing is you see the silks push out the tip of that ear. And the tassel is what pollinates the ear. So every silk is attached to a kernel inside of that husk. And every single silk has to be pollinated in order for that kernel to bear fruit. So keep that in mind. You need really good pollination. If you have bad pollination, you don't have nothing when you go to harvest. So those are critical things. Things that can mess up pollination. High heat can mess up pollination. Stress can mess up pollination. So many different things. So try and keep optimal conditions in your field so that you have good pollination. And then after that, we're focused on making sure that the plant has enough nutrients to really push and fill out that fruit inside the husk. Particular nutrients that are very important for corn and filling out fruit is using the right forms of nitrogen this time of year. That's going to be less attractive to mites. That's going to take less energy for the plant to utilize. And also, we're looking at potassium, phosphorus, calcium. All these things are some of the most necessary ones that you're going to need to push a really good fruit, to fill that out, to get really big kernels, and in turn, a heavy yield. Some of you will have corn that isn't quite as far as long, and you're moving into a time where you're using about 100% of your nutrients in the plant before, right at tasseling, basically. Corn doesn't respond to a lot of nutrients much past tasseling. Anyway, check back in. That's all I got for you today. But once again, thank you very much for joining me out here. And remember, make farming fun again.